Okay, we're good to go. Welcome everyone. My name's Caroline. I know Jim. I recognize you from the past couple of sessions. And what's your name?
Ann.
Ann. Great to meet you, Ann. As I said, I'm Caroline. I am with TriHealth, Corporate Health. I'm a wellness and coaching coordinator with that division. And I've been there for about 3.5 years or so. And doing this type of programming is my favorite part of that job. So thank you guys for being interested and for coming and participating with me. Today we're doing yet another installment in our meditation series. We're focusing on meditation to reduce stress. We're going to talk about some of the science behind why meditation has that effect on us, how it can help us reduce stress. So, as I mentioned, and we always schedule an hour, but this should take closer to 30 minutes or so. So, give you back some time today and tonight to enjoy this lovely weather. For those of you who were here last time, just a couple of you, I don't know if you remember, I challenged everyone last time to do some mindfulness on your own, so focusing on your breathing for 1 minute, one time per day for, I think we said a week, but to just try that on your own. Did you get a chance to do that? It's okay if the answer's no. Not really.
I did try it.
Did you? What were your thoughts? How did it go for you?
Okay, for the last 30 days, I used the timer.
Okay.
For 5 minutes.
Yeah. Oh, for
night.
5 minutes. Nice.
And I don't know what's different.
Okay. So, can I ask what you did? Like, what was?
Just a lot. You've heard the term distractions.
Yeah.
I mean, it just ever present.
It was challenging to focus.
A couple times it was like, the tone would go off for 5 minutes, and I realized the whole time I was distracted. But I mean, it was interesting. I guess I did notice when I was kind of focused, just the breathing, which you're supposed to come back to anyway, right? You're supposed to.
Yeah, absolutely.
Just the physical up and down of the chest and the stomach, just the breathing. Seemed to kind of be a good place to go, I guess.
Sure. Yeah, a good anchor.
I don't know what the expectation should be.
Yeah.
I don't perceive anything being kind of different. I mean, I kind of like going through the exercise. And
yeah.
So maybe I try 10 minutes. I don't know.
Yeah. Were you just kind of doing it on your own, just trying to focus on that breath, come back to that breath in the present? You were just doing it on your own. One option could be to do something that's guided. So.
Yeah, exactly. I was thinking.
Yeah.
I just need to get my butt in gear and go do it.
Sure.
Because I know I have there's a list of 10 possibilities, but I mean, they're the biggies, like calm and there's a brain check.
Yeah, there's a bunch of them.
I should try that. Okay.
Yeah, and that just might help you to just to have that voice kind of reminding you to come back. And I personally really enjoy guided meditations, so it's not like you're doing anything wrong by using it as a guide, doing the guided format versus on your own. There's no right or wrong in that way, so that might be a good thing to try.
Well, I mean, just navigating life. Alexa's really handy, so I assume I could probably just say, Alexa, play one of these selections. Just go play that one. I assume that comes through.
I've never tried it, but you're right. Alexa is very handy. She might know some things. So
it might take. Some are subscription and some.
Yes.
Free.
Yeah.
So that would take a free one.
Sure. Yeah. Yeah, well, if you decide to keep trying it, keep pursuing it, you have to let us know how that goes. But I really appreciate that you stuck with it and tried it out. And it sounds like you did find some enjoyment in the exercise. It was something you enjoyed. And also, it sounds like you were really good about being in the present moment, as far as like you did notice those things of like the rise and fall of the chest and belly, and those sensations kind of stuck with you.
I did notice when I went off the reservation, as it were.
Yeah.
Once I got distracting.
Sure. Yeah. Well, thank you for sharing. Again, just trying that is that's a huge step. So that's awesome. Thank you again for doing that and for sharing with us what your challenges were, because most people run into the similar challenges. So it's good to talk about that. Okay, so again, what we want to talk about today is, people talk about meditation, it reduces stress. Well, how? Let's talk a little bit about stress and our body's stress response. So when we experience really any kind of stress, and when I say any kind, I mean, it might be a life-threatening stress. It might be, hi, come on in. Take a seat wherever. You're no problem. We're just getting started. So we're talking about how stress affects our body. So when we experience stress, and like I said, any kind of stress, any kind of threat that our body perceives, whether it's truly life-threatening or not, it's going to stimulate what we call our sympathetic nervous system. So the sympathetic nervous system acts like a gas pedal in the car. Right? It hits the gas on our stress response, all of those stress hormones that our brain shoots out, things like epinephrine, which is adrenaline, cortisol. And over time, these things really negatively impact our health. So chronic spikes in stress hormones have been shown to lead to things like an increase in blood pressure, higher cholesterol, increase in heart rate. They can lower our immune system responses. They can decrease our energy levels. They can cause disruptions to our sleep. Just to name a few things, stress has been linked to a lot of negative health outcomes. Now, when we meditate or engage in relaxation practices like meditation, it activates what we call the parasympathetic nervous system, and this is like the brake pedal in the car. So this part of our nervous system, it's going to stop the release of those stress hormones and promote that deep rest and relaxation. So the sympathetic nervous system, that's kind of like our fight or flight response. Maybe you guys have heard that before. It's a pretty common phrase. That's our fight or flight response. And the parasympathetic nervous system, that's that relaxation response. It's kind of a mouthful. So this relaxation response, this was a term that was coined by a person named Dr. Herbert Benson. Herbert Benson in the 70s, actually. So he describes this as a deep psychological, physiological shift in the body. That's the opposite of that stress response. It's the counter to that stress response. And it can help to ease a lot of stress-related ailments. And that it can include things like depression, pain, physical pain, high blood pressure, things like that. For lots of people, sleep disorders are also very closely tied to stress. So we're actually going to talk a lot about sleep in our next meditation session, but that is one way that stress impacts our body, and meditation can counter that. So let's talk about some research, some hard studies that have been done on meditation and its impacts on stress. So there have quite literally been hundreds and hundreds of studies on how meditation affects stress, all with positive outcomes. But today I really want to highlight this study. The Cleveland Clinic did this study. It was a 1-year randomized study. There was 161 participants in this study, and they focused specifically on workplace stress. So the subjects of this study were employees in a debt collection call center. So you can imagine pretty high stress work environment. I mean, any call center has a unique workplace, probably pretty stressful, but that is objectively probably a very high stress work environment. So they introduced an 8-week intervention of meditation techniques, and it was very much based and grounded in the concept of mindfulness, grounding oneself in the moment, staying in the present moment. So after 8 weeks of this intervention, of them practicing these techniques with these employees, virtually every single participant reported feeling more energy and feeling less stress and anxiety. Many said they were sleeping better and they had lost weight even. And Even 1 year later after the study, they found that there was still a 31% decrease in stress levels in these employees and a 28% increase in vitality, feeling energized, feeling more positive. So some pretty cool research there with just an 8-week intervention. Alrighty, so let's dive into our guided meditation today. This says about 10 minutes. I like to take my time a little bit more, so probably be closer to 12 minutes with our guided meditation today. We're going to start with a progressive muscle relaxation exercise. We'll just go along and just notice where you might be holding stress in your body. Stress is a very stress lives in the body. A lot of people, you might have heard people say, or maybe you've said or noticed about yourself, oh, I carry my stress in my shoulders or my neck, things like that. Or maybe you notice when you get stressed out, you experience headaches or other kinds of muscle tension. So we want to do that progressive muscle relaxation to kind of bring some awareness into your body where you might be holding that stress. And then we'll finish the meditation by focusing on our breath and releasing that remaining stress from your body. So progressive muscle relaxation, that piece of it, it's a little more active, so it can be very helpful if you have a lot of stress and feel like you are having a hard time relaxing, like you might feel antsy or just tense. So it's a great way to activate that parasympathetic nervous system. So with the progressive muscle relaxation piece, we're going to tense each muscle group one at a time. I'll walk you through that as we go through, holding for about 5 seconds and then relaxing those muscles slowly for another 5-ish seconds, so that it feels like that tension's just draining from your body. Just a couple of tips. It can be helpful to tell yourself as you're releasing, kind of use the words something like let go or relax or release. As you release that tension in your muscle, it just gives you something a little more concrete to focus on in that moment. If you are feeling any discomfort, please feel free to skip that muscle group. That's okay. I don't want you guys to be tensing muscles and feeling pain or anything like that. If you have an injury or something's just uncomfortable in a painful way, just skip it. That's okay. And then last note and tip, just be sure that you're not holding your breath as we tense these muscle groups. That can actually inadvertently increase our stress because breathing is really one of the number one things we can do to decrease stress. So you can try, if you would like, to synchronize your breath with the movement. So breathing in while tensing and exhaling while releasing. But if that's just too much to think about, that's okay too. Don't overthink it. Just be sure that you're breathing. Just be sure that you're not holding your breath. I think there is a part in this meditation where I'll tell you to hold your breath to stretch a certain muscle group, but other than that, just remember, keep on breathing. So let's go ahead and dive into this. So I'd like you to go ahead and start by finding a comfortable position with your back straight and relaxed. So take any movements that you need to in your chair to get comfortable. You want to be nice and comfortable and grounded with your seat there. And you can go ahead, if you're comfortable with it, and close your eyes. And take a nice deep breath in and out. And we'll start by bringing your attention to your feet. Any sensations you feel in your feet. And tense the muscles in your feet. You can press your feet into the floor to do this and hold. And release. Moving into your lower legs. Tense the muscles in your calves. Pull your toes up and hold. And release. Moving into your upper legs, tense those quadriceps, those hamstrings, just tense those upper legs and hold. And release. Now very gently arch your back and squeeze your shoulder blades together. and hold. And release. Moving into your shoulders, shrug your shoulders up towards your ears and hold. And release. Now squeeze your eyes shut tightly and hold. And release, feeling any tension drain from those muscles. Moving into your arms. Tense all of those muscles in your arms and hold. And release. Now to your hands. Make a tight fist with your hands. And release. Feeling everything drain from your hands. Now shift your focus to your breath. Take a deep inhale, and when you can't inhale any longer, hold for about 3 seconds. And exhale when you're ready. Let's do this a couple more times. Deep inhale in and hold for 3 seconds. And exhale out. One more time. Deep inhale in. Hold. And exhale completely. Take a moment to notice where you might be holding any remaining stress in your body. Now inhale, and as you exhale, imagine the stress leaving your body. Take another inhale and exhale, relaxing even further. Now let your breath fall into a natural rhythm as you consciously identify or label each in-breath and each out-breath. So in and out. In, out. Gently letting go of any thoughts that keep coming up. In and out. Feel the breath flowing in and feel the breath flowing out. Connect with your breath as you breathe in and relax as you breathe out. Connect and relax. Connect and relax. allowing your body to relax with each exhale. Release any thoughts that might come in and come back to your breath and the present moment. With a calm, clear mind, you're better able to face any challenge that comes your way, allowing for the opportunity to respond rather than react. Follow the breath all the way in, filling up your lungs, and follow the breath all the way back out. Inhale and back out. In and back out. Each time you notice your attention start to wander, return to the breath and this moment. In and out. Let your mind feel calm and still. Your body feeling heavy and relaxed. Calm and relaxed. One last inhale and exhale. And as this practice comes to a close, notice how you're feeling in this moment. How you're feeling mentally and physically. When you're ready, go ahead and bring any movement back to your body, and you can open your eyes. Okay, come on back to our room, to our group. We'll take it slow. Don't want to give anybody whiplash. So what did you guys think about that particular meditation? How do you feel now that we're done?
Very relaxed.
Very relaxed. Awesome. That's a very good thing.
At ease.
At ease. I like that.
Yeah, some stress out of my shoulders.
Good.
Yeah.
So you noticed that it was there, and then you were able to kind of intentionally drain that. Awesome. Great. So wonderful. You can see up here some common meditation experiences. Obviously, hopefully, we do, want you to feel calm and relaxed, but know that it's not unusual if you felt frustrated, if you felt distracted, agitated, anything like that. Those are very common experiences, and sometimes your experience with meditation can change, day to day even. So you can have, some really great experiences, and then maybe one day you're just not in the right headspace, or things are going on in your life, and it's a lot harder than you're used to it being. That's okay. So know that that's not uncommon, but glad to hear that mostly folks are feeling good and relaxed. Know that, this is a big message of our series. There's no right or wrong way to meditate. So if you felt like, man, I just could not stay focused, I could not keep the thoughts and distractions out, that's okay. The practice is just bringing your attention back to what you want to be focused on rather than the distracting thought getting swept away there. Okay, so we've got a little challenge again this time. So, we won't be back for another month, but if you want for the next week to try our mindfulness challenge, we're challenging you guys to eat one mindful meal this week. So, mindful eating, you may have heard of it. Mindful or intuitive eating, sometimes it's called. It's the idea of bringing that meditation, that being in the present moment, very much into our eating habits and our meals. So it's focused on doing things like removing distractions like our phones or something like that from our meals, focusing only on that food that you're eating, what it tastes like, what it smells like, what it feels like, eating slowly, noticing all those flavors, putting your fork down between bites, taking your time, that kind of thing. So we'll see if you guys are up for that challenge. And then we also have some just recommendations from people who have done our meditation series, apps that they like to use too. So you mentioned Calm, that's a great one. Headspace, Insight Timer, My Life 10% Happier. What is the one? Stop, Think, Breathe is another one. Some of these have fees to have the app or a subscription. Some of them don't. Or there's free trials, that kind of stuff too. And of course, there's tons and tons of content on YouTube. So, if you are looking for just one quick video, of course, no cost to it, definitely check out YouTube. There's a plethora of content with meditation on there too. Okay, you guys. Well, as I said, my name's Caroline, so please feel free to reach out if you have any questions. Anything that you guys have questions, comments, concerns before we wrap up?
Good session.
Good. Good.
You just reminded me, it was something I heard I heard on the radio years ago.
Mm-hmm.
This thing about, the person said, before you start to eat, just take a moment to be mindful. But it wasn't explained this way, though.
Oh, okay.
Just take that moment before
Yeah.
you start to eat.
Yes, totally. That's all part of it. Yeah, absolutely. It's a pretty interesting concept. I'm hoping they're going to reschedule. There was a mindful eating presentation scheduled here, and I'm hopeful that they'll reschedule it. It got canceled for some reason. But so keep your eye out on, I don't know how they send that information out to members, but keep an eye out for that if you'd like to learn more about mindful eating.
So that's interesting. Like I have 8 siblings and I grew up in a big house.
Yeah.
And you always ate fast.
Or you wouldn't eat. Yep. Oh, yeah.
I still do that. It's kind
Yeah.
of interesting. I'll try that tonight.
Yes, yeah, give it a shot. My parents always say that. I always talk the same way, and I'm one of my best friends growing up. She grew up in a house of 8, and that was I've been there for mealtime. If you didn't eat fast, you didn't eat at all. So, but yes, we can try to counter that. Hopefully, now we can take our time and don't have to fend people off with your fork now. So. All right. Anything else? Any other questions or anything I can answer for you guys before I let you get on with your evening?
So how long do you think is a good meditation? I mean, to start?
Yeah, yeah.
5 minutes, 10?
What I would say is whatever you will do is a good option. And I'll explain that a little bit. So sometimes when we're creating new habits, whatever it is, whatever, it could be anything, learning to play an instrument or, exercising. Sometimes we, commit a chunk of time to it, say, okay, I'm going to do this for 20 minutes. And then it comes down to it, and that block of time is daunting, and it discourages us from even doing it in the first place. And so I think it's really important to ask yourself, what's an amount of time that is realistic and doable and not daunting? So if committing to 1 minute of meditation is all that feels doable right now, beautiful. Do it. Try it. You might find that you spend longer in your meditation than 1 minute once you're into it. But what I run into with a lot of my clients is they set goals that then become barriers because it's just the time commitment is too daunting. It doesn't feel doable. So we want to keep those. We call them tiny habits or, baby steps in essence, right? We want to keep it small. So, we do meditations in our series that are 2, 3, 4 minutes long. So it really doesn't take a whole lot of time. We do a little bit longer ones here, while we're together. But again, if you are like, there's no way I could commit, even 10 minutes sounds like too much to commit to doing this today. Do what you can. Just do what feels good. And you might find again that like maybe you're in that minute and you're like, oh, I don't want this to end. Maybe you spend a few minutes doing it, but commit to what doesn't scare you. Does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay. Good. Anything else? All right. Well, thank you guys for being with me today, and enjoy this lovely fall evening. They got the place all decked up for fall, so I enjoyed seeing that when I came in, and nice, cool temperatures today. So.
Another one.